In this video, I'm going to show you how to make screw threading. So ultimately, you can take this to make a lead screw as we talk about mechanisms here. So if you take a look, I can turn my screw clockwise and counterclockwise. We can see that as it navigates through. So to do this, what we're going to do is I'm going to go into a new part studio. I'm going to create a sketch for my screw. I'm going to place that on the top. This one, I'm going to make a 1-inch. I'm going to over exaggerate a lot of the features on this just to show you, so that when you create yours, you use it to actual more specifications. I'm going to extrude this 10 inches. So we can see we have that cylinder now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come underneath my plane tool. I have the helix tool. I'm going to click on my surface of my cylinder. I'm going to change this to my pitch. And for this example, again, I'm over exaggerating this. I'm going to go to a 0.4 pitch for my cylindrical wrap, as we can see here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch. And that sketch is going to be laid on my front plane. I'm going to orientate myself, and I'm going to draw an equilateral triangle. This triangle needs to be less than the height of my pitch. So I'm going to go 0.375 here. Again, I'm doing this as an over exaggeration so you can see this, and I'm going to draw that equilateral triangle. I can come up here to my congruent. Oh, I need to exit out of that tool and get rid of that line. There we go. I'm going to highlight it here. I'm going to come up to my constraints. I'm going to choose my equals one, which will set all sides equal to each other. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on out of this sketch. I'm going to click on my sweep tool, and I'm simply going to choose that sketch as my face. I'm going to choose my sweep path as my helix, and I'm going to do this as a removal. So now you can see I have that nice screw that's there. And again, the values I chose were over exaggerated so it can come on screen and you can see it nice and clearly. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this part, and I'm going to create my base to screw through. I'm going to also hide this curve just so it's easier. I'm going to choose to place this on my front plane, and all I'm going to do is draw with a center point rectangle tool. I'm going to draw I don't know, 10-inch by 4-inch, and I'm going to extrude, then come up to my circle tool, and I'm going to grab a 1-inch circle right in the center there, and I'm going to extrude this 1 inch. Now I need to put that threading on the inside of this, and the way that I'm going to do this is simply coming up to that same helix tool. I'm going to select the inside of this circle, and I'm going to go to my pitch, and I'm going to make it the same 0.4 pitch. Now I'm going to hide part 2 just so I can see this. It's going to make it probably easier to see what I need to see. So I'm going to choose to take a look at it from the side here, and I'm going to put my sketch down, and I'm going to draw that same equilateral triangle. So I'm going to go 0.375. I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to exit that tool. I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to make it equal to my dimension side. And I need to make sure I'm just selecting these parts, and then I'll go equal to my side. I'm going to delete that off. Obviously, I have an error in there. The issue I was having is not being able to get it to equal side. So if I hide my curve and then I select all and then I hit my equals, it will readjust, and I can just bring my curve, and now I can bring my part 2 back as well. So now that I take a look at this, what I can do is I can do that same sweep technique. I can close this sketch out. I'm going to come to my sweep. I'm going to select the face of that. I'm going to select my helix as my path, and then I'm